How does Malaysia state's vote work? At the state level, voters elect representatives to the State Legislative Assembly. The number of representatives varies between the different states, with as many as 82 electorates in Sarawak and as little as 15 in Perlis. Members are elected from single-member constituencies drawn based on population using the first-past-the-post system. First-past-the-post as members of Congress are elected in single-member districts accordingly, meaning that the candidate with the plurality of votes is the winner of the congressional seat. The losing party or parties win no representation at all. State assembly constituencies are usually smaller in area and population than the parliamentary constituencies. The party that forms the majority of the state assembly will form the state government. Usually, state elections are held simultaneously with the parliamentary election, but each state can decide when to hold its election. This is because state assemblies are dissolved by their respective ruler or governor on the advice of the chief minister of the state. The rules to vote in Malaysia as the only registered voters may vote in elections. Any Malaysian citizens 18 years old and above must register in the Voters Registry with the Election Commission via any offices affiliated with the Election Commission, post offices with computerized facilities or specified counters before he or she could vote in elections. After identity verification at a voting center, each voter receives 2 paper ballots, one for the parliamentary seat of the constituency and another for the state assembly seat. In federal territories, where there is no state assembly, and states whose state election is held on a different date, each voter receives only 1 ballot for the parliamentary seat. Each voter walks into individual booth to mark ballots while maintaining confidentiality. The voter marks on each ballot the candidate of his or her choice with a cross beside the candidate's name and party symbol. After completing, the voter folds the ballots and drops them into separate ballot boxes for parliamentary and state assembly seats. For the counting and announcement of election results, after the close of voting, the election agents check the ballot boxes prior to opening and counting. They also monitor the counting to ensure that the total ballots are the same as the number of votes cast. This extends to checking the number of double votes. Every ballot paper has a serial number on it and they are given out sequentially. Agents may come to check that the serial numbers match up. The counting of the ballots is done by hand. After a count at the voting center, the boxes are transported to the counting center for a second count. If all candidates agree to the count, then it stands, or else an immediate recount is done at the counting center. Election results are announced through live broadcasts by radio and television stations. Some newspapers print special editions to cover the election results. In most constituencies, the results will be out on the night of the election day. In some rural constituencies and constituencies that need recounts, the results may not be announced until the next day. These are the process to do a state vote in Malaysia.